Well, March is Women's Month, and we've got Trish Chambers with the Milford Museum joining us on the CoastLife couch today. Trish, you have this really, really interesting and wonderful presentation coming up with the Milford Museum. Tell us all about it.
Well, it'll be on Saturday, March 8th at 1 o'clock at the museum. And the topic is the secret Rosies of World War II. It's a topic that has just been declassified in the mid-1990s. So we were able to get into the archives and stuff where before we wouldn't have been able to. And we uncovered some really magnificent information about these women and how they affected major battles during World War II, like the Battle of Midway. Yeah, certain outcomes, and how they as women really had to fight for their place in this particular activity. It was clandestine the whole time. They were told that if they discussed what they were doing, they would be shot as traitors. I mean, these are 21-year-old girls fresh out of college being scared half to death.
I can't imagine.
And the surprising part of this is many of them took that information with them to their grave.
I mean, that sounds fascinating and terrifying. I cannot imagine being, 21 years old. I can't imagine being 32 years old and in a situation like that where you've got this classified information that, I mean, is not only the life of or death of you and your peers, but I mean, your country in a lot of ways. So this is a really, really wonderful presentation that you guys have going on that I think history buffs or non-history buffs alike are going to get something out of this. And Trish, you yourself are quite accomplished in this sphere. Tell us a little bit about your credits. Toot your own horn here for us.
Well, I have two books that I've written. One is about Civil War women, their roles and legacies. And the other one is about the lighthouses of New Jersey. But I think my real accomplishment is Trish Chambers Productions, because it gives us a chance to get out there and tell stories that actually need to be told. Absolutely. Women in history, what they've done. I mean, we start in the early 1800s with women working on the Underground Railroad. Mm-hmm. We go through the Civil War, where you have women who are soldiers and spies. They're the first ones that stepped out of traditional role because of the war. Yep. Then we move on to the turn of the century, where women are starting to get educated and live independently. We go on to the 20s, where we have our real first feminists. Yes. I mean, those flappers went out there with a vengeance. Plus, they're fighting for suffrage. And people don't understand that suffrage was more than the vote. It was equality under the law. Yeah. Then we move into the 1940s, and in that period of time, so many things changed. It was one of the biggest periods of technology after the Gilded Age, which we also do. Yeah. And then, of course, we have our World War II women, the Rosie the Riveter and the Secret Rosies, which I'm so excited to be doing.
I know, we're so excited for you. This sounds like it's going to be just a wonderful presentation, very engaging. What do you think we can learn about women in the past and all of the fights that they have been through and turmoil that they've been through that we can take with us into the future?
Women from the beginning of time have been in the forefront of changing society. Mm-hmm. We've done it whether we were breaking the glass ceilings in the executive offices of the 1980s or back in the Underground Railroad. Women stepped up. They took the lead. They didn't care what they were told you can or can't do. Mm-hmm. They did it because it was necessary. Our job allows us to reach up and touch living history. I've met real Rosie the Riveters in some of our venues. I have met the pilot who was for General Douglas MacArthur. I've met women who come up to me and say, "Oh, my grandmother was a flapper. I remember those dresses. We used to play dress up in them." And I mean, it takes your breath away. What you're hearing now and what you're seeing now is nothing new. This goes back.
Yep. That's amazing.
This is stuff you only read about.
I know, and I think that's we think of history and things that we learned in school as being, it feels like thousands of years ago as opposed to hundreds of years ago or many generations past, when really you are just a grandparent or great-grandparent away from that living history. Which is
absolutely.
good reminder, I think, to keep in mind that our history as a nation that we know it is not that old.
Right.
So, Trish, for folks who are interested in checking out this presentation, remind us again the details, the when and where.
Okay, it will be Saturday, March 8th at 1 o'clock at the Milford Museum.
Perfect. And for folks who want to check out the Milford Museum on their own time or maybe get involved, are there ways that they can get involved to support?
Oh, sure. They can contact the curator, Tom Summers.
Perfect.
He would be their main contact. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we'll give you a minute to do all that, clear your schedule. Trish, thank you so much for coming in today and telling us all about this awesome presentation. I know a lot of people are going to want to check it out.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
I know so. Coming up on CoastLife, though, we're headed to the movies to see if there's one that you want to check out.